Malawi is often described as the warm heart of Africa due to the friendliness of its people. However, Malawi is a very difficult place to live. Malawi is one of the poorest countries on earth, ranking 174th out of 187 on the Human Development Index. Malawi is home to an estimated 1 million orphans and has few resources to care for so many children. One of the biggest challenges in Malawi is education. You can go to school for free in Malawi until the 8th grade, but if you want to go to high school, there are fees associated with it. With more than half the population of Malawi living on less than $1 a day, the cost of high school is unaffordable for a majority of families in Malawi. Although high school remains a basic public service in many countries across the world, millions of children in Malawi, Africa, will not have the opportunity to attend high school. Determined to Develop is a non-profit organization that works to empower the people of Malawi, Africa. We focus on the programs supporting education, orphan care, women's empowerment, health, and the environment. The majority of our funding is spent on education with a focus on those who are orphans. We want to do more. There are millions of children in Malawi that dream of attending high school and getting an education. With your help, they can. Please give a child in Malawi the gift of an education through Determined to Develop. For about the amount that many people in the U.S. spend on coffee during a month, you can literally save a child's life in Malawi. Your sponsorship will not only change the life of a child, but of their family and community as well.
Without D2D, education in Malawi, to access a good education in Malawi is difficult because in schools we lack school materials, we lack school fees, but now we are getting school fees because of D2D. And I have a hope that if I'll finish my school, I will be a nurse because D2D is providing school fees for me, and my goals will be achieved.
In future, I want to be an educated girl. I want it to be easier to achieve my goal, and I want to be a lawyer. D2D is impacting my life in many ways. Like I know how to speak English because of D2D. I know how to write a letter because of D2D.
I wish I would be like a doctor in future, so that maybe I should develop my country and everyone in the world. Without D2D, I can say by then I was like a stupid person because I was not going to school. I was just mongering the village. But due to D2D helped me school fees, now I'm better, and it's my prayer. I'll make it to be a medical doctor and helping people.
Like in Malawi, most of people like money to pay school fees for their children. So they make sure that girls, they'll get married, then boys, they'll be paid off for school fees from the girls. And now there's this group of Determined to Develop, which is indeed determined to be developing students. And now here in Malawi, we have the opportunity to be educated through this group. And most Malawians, I know that they'll gain from this group. And even me, myself, I've gained a lot of things from this group. Now I'm still in secondary school because of Determined to Develop.
After graduating from UD in 2006 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in political science, Matt Maroon decided to spend a year in the East African nation of Malawi working with the Marianists before heading to law school. 10 years later, he's still there. and Malawi has become home. Matt said that wasn't originally the plan. Law school was the plan, but once I got here, I was hooked. Matt turned a year of service into a vocation. After working with the Marianists in the city of Karonga, he came back to the United States to earn a graduate degree in anthropology from the University of Cincinnati. Returning to Malawi, he founded a nonprofit charity, Determined to Develop. D2D is designed to empower Malawian citizens to create sustainable, community-driven solutions to issues facing their communities. Its focuses are on education and youth support, women's empowerment, health and nutrition, and environmental needs. As a home base for these operations, Matt built a lodge, Maji Zua, which hosts visitors from around the globe. That number has included many UD students during the past few years, notably the Malawi Practicum for Human Rights and the Ethos program. For D2D's latest project, which broke ground during the summer, Matt is working with the School of Engineering, the College of Arts and Sciences, and the School of Education and Health Sciences to build a high school and to create a curriculum using best practices for teaching in an African context. Construction began in late July, and Matt said, UD is a huge supporter of this project, helping us rethink how we do education on the African continent.
This is Matt Maroon, the Executive Director of Determined to Develop, a nonprofit charity working in Malawi, Africa. In Malawi, we work on 4 major cornerstones, which include education and youth support, women's empowerment, health and nutrition, and the environment. The story that brought me to Malawi and that started Determined to Develop began at the University of Dayton, where I was an undergraduate, and I was a political science major that was hoping to go to law school after graduation. But before law school, I wanted to take a 1-year break so that I could see the world and get a deeper perspective of this large planet that we live on. And so I contacted the Marianist brothers, who are the proprietors of the University of Dayton, and asked if they had any missions abroad that they could use a volunteer for a year. Next thing I knew, I found myself on an airplane to Malawi, Africa. Malawi is one of the poorest countries in the world. It comes in at the bottom of every indices for human development. If we talk about infant mortality, it's toward the bottom. If we talk about life expectancy, it's also there. If we talk about access to basic needs, it's one of the places that struggles the most. And so what we tried to do is work with the community, hand in hand, at first to do a needs assessment and see what were their biggest development challenges. It included things like women's empowerment and issues for the girl child, health and nutrition, feeding programs that were a necessity, and access to sustainable agriculture techniques so that people could feed themselves. What we're trying is to be a think tank for development ideas in one of the most rural contexts. And as we do that, we're able to test these ideas and have them get noticed. And right now is a terrific tipping point for our charity, because as we have worked for the past 5 years to see if these ideas can catch on, we've found really successful ideas that match women with opportunities, that make sure that kids can go to school and have access to education, that make sure that people can feed themselves, and that orphans have a place to go. So we're able to take these ideas and scale them up. Instead of affecting 600 women, we can start to talk about affecting 6,000, and then 60,000, and then 6 million. And we're doing that with your support and with all of the help from the people who are assisting Determined to Develop. We've found a terrific institutional partner with the University of Dayton, who has been sending students to partner with us to work on these development challenges for several years. This year they've gone all in as we start to look at education as a main area for development. We see education as the true equalizer, being able to take the rural poor and give them a shot at education so that they can become the change makers in their society. And as we start to do that, we're launching a signature project, which is Malawi's first charter school and one of the first charter schools in Southern Africa. And as we partner with the University of Dayton, with the School of Engineering for Design and Construction, with the College of Arts and Sciences through their Department of Human Rights, and with the College of Education on curricular design and the way that we connect a Malawian curriculum and a Malawian classroom with these new and advanced Western ideas of how we see development working inside the minds of youth. We're able to look at this project as being our leap forward in seeing some of these ideas that we've come up with and now putting them into practice to benefit the rural poor. We're still an exceptional charity with only 2% overhead costs, and we take and maximize each dollar so that we can feed a kid, so that we can send a kid to school. It's not a handout, it's just a boost so that people can help themselves. And that's the entrepreneurial spirit of Malawi and of Africa, and it's the one where we're proud to partner with local people in helping them to reach that road.
My name is Ponel Kalonga. I'm the woman in charge for all the women's empowerment projects at Determined to Develop. Under the women's empowerment projects, we have so many projects going on. We have groups of women which we support with different types of businesses. Some of them are doing sewing businesses, some of them are baking and selling their products, some of them are doing poultry farming and selling their chickens, and some of them are growing vegetables. We are supporting young girls with their future decisions, with their careers. So we have primary girls club and also secondary school girls clubs. Education is very, very important in Malawi because that's like the only means for people to succeed. That's the only way to develop the Malawi nation.
Hi, I'm Roy Burgoon, board chair and part of the board of directors of Determined to Develop. I became aware of the organization when I took my family on a trip to Africa and to Malawi. And after just a couple of days of seeing what Matt had accomplished and what his drive was to embed himself and help the people in the community, at this point in my life it would be something that I wanted to get involved with. And it's been quite a ride. It's been several years and we've grown our organization. We have grown our donor base, and most importantly we've helped many, many people along the way help themselves.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone.
Hi, thank you to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all you do for Determined to Develop, and we're so excited that you're following us and that you're in a relationship with us and with people that are so far away. Thank you.
My name is Rohan Omanda. I'm one of the D2D Youth Sponsored Kids. For more information, you can visit www.determinedtodevelop.org.